We have had some technical problems.
Hit it! You are connected to Ace TJ 5G. Ace TJ Riggins Alexis Tech D-Rob. Live from the Calatrend Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Oh man, ready to kick off a big time week. Energy at the top level. Energy is what we call it. Riggins, you missed it because you weren't at the event, but it was embarrassing that I almost wore the exact same outfit as the aerialist at Ace and Amanda's shower the other day.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. She's up on a big hoop. Looks like a hoop that you would set on fire and have dolphins jump through.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
That's a good way to describe it.
They set the hoop on fire when they got dolphins jumping through.
If they're good. If the dolphins are worth their salt, yes, they can jump through fire.
Peter's not going to like that.
But she was very pretty in a lacy jumpsuit looking thing. It looked like if you were going to get married in a jumpsuit, workout jumpsuit, that's what you would wear as the bride.
Wow.
Yeah, big lacy number.
Yeah, so I know we'll get into this later, but I was watching when we got there early, and she's putting this whole thing together, and then she starts to test it, and I thought, well, if the test fails, we might as well just pack it up and because nobody else is going to be able to use that. If that thing collapses, it's going to drop her on her head.
Yeah,
but it was fine.
Was it hang from the ceiling?
No.
It's
got a base, a big round base, and the pole attaches into that. That it's several pieces of pole that go together.
Base, how low can you go?
Death roll, what a brother know. I love that song.
But she had to be very careful when she was just sitting on it. Sometimes she had to stop flipping around doing all that when people were making announcements and stuff. And I saw the technique. She had to make sure she couldn't sit to the side, but she had to sit just askew enough to where it didn't go. The little bar that she was sitting on didn't go into areas where it shouldn't.
Yeah.
The most uncomfortable you could be.
Yeah.
She was good though. She was trained.
She pulled it off.
Yeah, man.
Great job.
She's probably been doing that her whole life.
Do you ever have guys that do that?
Yeah.
Or is it strictly a
I'm sure they do.
No.
I'm sure they have guys that do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I done been to the Cirque du Soleil, several versions of it. Yeah, and then guys do that.
Wow. Yeah, it looked incredible. I saw the video.
Big fat guys, actually, the ones that always do that.
Big fat.
Yeah.
That's what you want. Big fat guys doing it. Let's see what's trending.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
There's a new #1 movie at the box office. That's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Volume 3. $114 million globally. So I think they were estimating about 120. Originally, it was supposed to be 150. Then they said 120, so now it's at 114. I don't know. I mean, I heard the phrase superhero fatigue used a lot over the weekend. Have we entered superhero fatigue?
That people have just tired of superhero movies, so they're not as into going anymore?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. So, I mean, it doesn't affect me because I like them. They're fine. But I was not, I guess, their core audience. But, yeah. I mean, it's still a successful movie. Knocked out the Super Mario Brothers movie for the first time in 5 weeks or however long it's been out.
It's just nice to see people back in the theaters. I know it's been a while now, but it's still nice to see that movies are doing good again.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, you notice a lot fewer movies. I think that was the only big nationwide release last week was Guardians of the Galaxy. Everything else was in limited release.
Yeah. And that's not for children, right? That's not a children's movie.
No. Right, Rob? That is not considered a children's movie?
No, they say the F word in it.
Yeah.
The F word?
Yeah. Yep. The first one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Why?
What's the point of doing that?
Yeah.
Just to show that they're edgy and they know that all they're dealing with is adults now.
Yeah.
It's just adult movies.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. Mm-hmm. But speaking of movies, the MTV Movie and TV Awards happened last night. Now, when I was a kid, this was like must-see television, but I was 8. Now in 2023, it's scaled down. Obviously, the writer's strike is happening, so there was no audience, no host. They did some sketches with Drew Barrymore.
Those had already been filmed, right? That was all that.
I think so.
That was done. So they were written and produced before. I saw a review that said they were cringeworthy. Was one review that was used. The sketches, as the sketches were apparently weren't great, but especially within the context of the way the show was put together, with the no audience or anything. And another review called it COVID-like this morning. It was a COVID-like award show.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
MTV is just lame
Yeah, I mean,
all the way around.
such a shell of its former self.
It's not cool at all.
It's not.
But it's fascinating to see how many different channels they can put stuff on now. When MTV has something big, and I think they do the same thing with Yellowstone because they have those family of channels. Like there was a section last night you could scroll, it was 5 channels in a row that had the MTV Movie Awards or whatever, all coming on at 8 o'clock. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were all those Paramount channels together.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So, and then the craziest story from over the weekend was this Usher and Chris Brown drama. And I'll try to summarize it really quickly. They were both performing in Las Vegas for this Lovers and Friends Festival, which this is how I knew I was old, because I looked at the lineup and I thought, oh, these are great art. This is a crazy show. And then I realized, like, oh, yeah, when you get a bunch of artists at a festival and it's not Coachella, it means you're probably old. So, but listen, I mean, it was 50 Cent, Christina Aguilera, Mariah Carey, everybody you can imagine, Chris Brown, Usher. They packed it out, and there was like a couple 100,000 people there. But the night before, Chris Brown and Usher allegedly got into like kind of a fist fight, and they looked fine though. So I don't know. It was a lot of drama.
Do we know exactly what caused the fist fight?
Yeah. So there's a woman there named Tiana Taylor. She was on My Super Sweet 16 back in the day. Now she's an artist, and now she helps book concerts for other artists. She said, Chris Brown, why are you not talking to me? And then Usher stepped in the way, and the backstory is not that interesting. But Usher and Chris Brown are friends, so it was kind of weird to see them fighting at a skate rink, because it's not an ideal venue for a fight.
And it took place at a skating rink?
Yeah, and they've got roller skates on. How many times have you ever seen two people fighting with roller skates on? It's a little difficult. So kind of adds to the silliness of it. But again, and then the next night, Chris Brown gets into another altercation. TMZ is saying, and now people are just talking about Chris Brown, like, put this guy in jail. This guy's dangerous to be around. So he's getting in fights all the time, allegedly. But there is video, so I don't know if I have to even say that.
And somebody said that the thing about it was that Chris Brown, fought with the exact same technique as Usher. Said it was almost like he had mimicked Usher in his fighting stance and presentation. It was like a cross between Usher and Michael Jackson, the way he fought. That's what they said. I don't know. I didn't see it.
The tea of it.
But I want to see it if they were fighting on skates. I didn't know they were on skates. I just saw the headline. And
doing laps at the skate ring, all of a sudden fight breaks. That's not easy to do when you're in skates.
It's really not.
Roller
you got to get on your toes, get that stopper down.
Yeah.
To keep you from rolling back and forth.
You got to plant your feet a little bit. So, but yeah, I thought that lineup was incredible. Missy Elliott, Christina Aguilera, 50 Cent, Mariah Carey, Usher, Chris Brown, Nelly, T.I. And then I thought, oh yeah, these are all old people now. I get it. It's not cool.
But hey, they packed in a couple 100,000 people, so that's
220,000 people were there at this Vegas show. It's crazy. 4 stages, nuts.
And still couldn't pull it off without getting in a fight.
Had to fight it out.
Old people fighting.
Old people
That's what it is. Old people fighting. But those are a few things that are now trending.
There's a lot going on today, and I told you we would recap the big baby shower that happened over the weekend. It was everything I told y'all it was going to be, and then some. And it was awesome, and sometimes people just aren't so awesome. I'm being reminded. So, give you the details coming up next.
Get Ace and TJ anytime, anywhere, at your convenience with the Ace and TJ Show podcast. Available wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ is next. On your phone, on your radio, in your car, on your iPad, on your computer. Anytime, anywhere, for your entertainment. This is the Ace and TJ radio show and podcast.
You can watch it on your YouTube. Ace TJ TV is our YouTube channel. There's always something happening on there. Every day we're putting up new stuff. Today, you get the new edition of TJ and Jody's House podcast. That's live at 11 Eastern on YouTube, and the podcast to download wherever you would like. And then at 9 Eastern, it is the Extra Funny podcast, which I almost called the Elite podcast. I don't know why I almost called it.
Oh, it's elite.
It is elite, but it's we call it the Extra Funny podcast. It's every day 9 Eastern live on YouTube. You can watch it there or catch it later on during the day. Ace TJ TV is our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Okay, so I've been telling y'all for weeks. Over the weekend, we had the big baby shower. So we're now technically just less than 6 weeks away from the due date for the baby. Who knows how that works, And the big baby shower was Saturday, and it was thrown by Amanda's friend Christy and her mom. They kind of worked in conjunction on things. And I think Christy was kind of running the point. Her mom handled, decorations, cake. Like cake and all this kind of the side stuff. They had it all worked out. So. And I told y'all going into it, this thing is a crazy affair. It's a little over the top. It is, and I have 2 important things. Most important to me was I'm not paying for it. and hey, do whatever you want. And it was an awesome day. Tons of people were there. Everybody came. I think everybody had a good time. They had fun. When you came in the door, there was a table to the right that had your typical baby shower stuff, baby pictures and little cards you filled out with your predictions for the baby and all this kind of stuff and everything. And to the left, there was a cotton candy station. And it was Kate's Cotton Candy. And Kate said, "Why am I the cotton candy name?" I said, "Well, it only makes sense. It's the alliteration, Kate's Cotton Candy." He goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, "I don't eat cotton candy." I said, "It doesn't matter. Just go with it."
Cotton candy. Because you're soft and sweet like cotton candy.
So they had a cotton candy station. Then you come in, and there was, as we mentioned a minute ago, this lady on a big hoop thing. That she was an acrobat, and she's pouring champagne for glasses as you walk by and everything. Trying to think what else. So we had then there were food stations. There was like a Cajun food station and a taco bar and one with chicken tenders and all this kind of stuff, all of which was delicious. I sampled a little bit of everything. And all the tables had little pictures of us from when we were kids and all this kind of stuff. Some of which, for me, I had never seen. Because in cleaning out my mom's house, my sister found an old photo album that was put away in my mom's closet that we didn't know was in there. And there were pictures of me when I was like a year old, 2 years old, when my parents were together and all that. And it was wild to see. It was really cool. And this incredible balloon thing that said, "Welcome, baby Dax." And the balloons were, I don't know how they do that stuff, but I'm amazed by that. It was beautiful, this big moon and clouds and all. It was awesome. It was a really spectacular day. Amanda looked beautiful. She was so happy. There was so much, it was really, I hate to sound cheesy, but there was just a lot of love in the room and people were happy. And you could tell that everybody was having a good time and enjoying themselves. And that's all anybody, wanted. And then the typical thing, and I don't know why this bothers me. It normally doesn't. I'm normally never bothered by this type of stuff. I usually find it entertaining. But something about this really, it bothers me. The numbers of people that we posted, and again, the number of people, 95% of the people that respond on social media are really, they're very kind. They're very sweet. It's really wonderful. But every now and then you'll get these people, a little over the top, don't you think, for a baby shower? Yeah, I do think it was. It was way over the top. It was somebody who cares about my wife very much, wanting to do something really nice for her and go over the top because she's like, "Yay, this is the only time you're going to get to do this in life. Let's blow it out and go over the top." It's like, "Oh, don't you think this money could have been spent better on other things?" Well, first off, it wasn't my money. Yeah. and who cares? That somebody wanted to do something nice for my wife. What's wrong with that? I don't need the lecture.
Yeah.
For some reason that really bummed me out yesterday, reading through and there weren't many of them, but when you do, I was like, yeah, it is. It's over the top. But no, somebody wanted to do something nice for my wife. Let her. It's not your business.
Yeah,
but hey, that's part of the gig. We put it out there, so you got to take the good with the bad, But it was an awesome day. Just an awesome day.
But that doesn't mean you can't point out how bad the bad is. You take the good with the bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because there are some people who just have absolutely no manners when it comes to how to deal with people. And if they thought that, why would they even say it?
Yeah.
Well, Okay, give me an example of something how that could have been spent better. That money that wasn't our money, it
Yeah.
was somebody else's money. How could we have made them spend that on something that you think would have been better? Just to see what the response would be.
That was the only thing that, and again, normally it doesn't bother me, and I think maybe it bothered me more because it's almost like, hey, maybe I took it like you don't take a shot at my wife in this deal. Somebody did something kind for her because they care about her and love her, and that was really, really sweet, and it made her super happy, and that makes me super happy. So I got to see everybody. We had tons of friends and family there, and everybody had a great time. It was more than you could have ever hoped for. Scored a couple bottles of champagne on my way out the door.
Oh, nice.
Housed those later in the afternoon.
Hey, you like drinking that champagne.
It was a win-win all the way around for everybody. But it was awesome. So we did a little recap video. Amanda put together a video that's up and on our Facebook and our Instagram at the Ace TJ Show. If you want to see it and check it out.
It was great. Yeah, look. Did anybody get wasted? Did anybody make a fool of
No,
themselves?
not at all. Nothing like that at all. Not that I saw. I wasn't aware of anything like that at all.
I was wondering if that happens.
Yeah. Well, it was noon to 3.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it was a little bit early for that to be going on. So I don't think there was any pre-gaming happening beforehand. But I didn't see anybody getting wasted or anything. It was just a nice, quiet affair.
Nice.
Oh, and I did forget to point out they had a violinist and a guitar player that played Southern rock.
They could play anything.
They could play- they could.
They could play anything.
Wow.
And the violinist, she was sight reading most of that stuff. Like she's like, yeah, because she plays multiple instruments. And turns out the band she used to be in had played with my band a few times, years ago. So she can play multiple instruments. And I went over there and I was like, are you sight reading all? She was not all of them, but a lot of them. I was like, that's super impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, it was really fantastic. So if you want to see the videos, you can check it out at the Ace TJ Show. It's on our Facebook and our Instagram.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Ooh, what does it mean when a trampoline comes to the neighborhood? There's a lady who has upset a lot of people on Facebook because they brought a trampoline to her neighborhood, and she's not happy about it. That's going to lead us to your redneck red flags next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next. Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ Show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So we mentioned the baby shower a minute ago, which is the kind of the inspiration for the baby registry, acetj.com/baby. Wanted to do something to help those who are in a difficult situation with their kids, and that's why we created acetj.com/baby. It's Ace and TJ's baby registry. You click the link, and you can do as much or as little as you want to benefit the families who have children at Levine Children's Hospital or at the Jeff Gordon Center, which is part of Levine's Children's Hospital in Concord, North Carolina. So 2 great opportunities to help. All you got to do is click the link. It takes you right to an Amazon wish list. Click, 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 boom. You're in, you're out, you're done. It doesn't take 2 minutes to do the whole thing. And it goes for a wonderful cause to help families who have kids in Levine Children's Hospital. So acetj.com/baby for the Ace and TJ baby registry. There's a lady on Facebook who posted, quote, "Neighbors have decided to get a trampoline. It's literally the biggest thing I've ever seen, and it takes up their entire yard. Whatever they want in their yard, that's not my business. But what's annoying me is the kids and multiple kids' friends are always on the trampoline, which is for hours after school in the evening. They can see straight into my house. So I'm in the kitchen or trying to have dinner, just relaxing on the couch, and the kids are bouncing or trying to get my attention or wave, just constantly staring in." It's a much longer post, but she goes on to talk about how it's kind of she thinks it's just a redneck thing. She can't do anything about it. But in her eyes, having a trampoline is somewhat redneck, and it's bothersome to her.
It's bigger than a lake, even?
It's huge.
She said, yeah.
Wow, bigger than has she never seen the ocean?
And at one point she said, am I being unreasonable to be annoyed by this?
No.
Like,
Kids staring in your house all the time. I get that. That's kind of annoying.
yeah, a lot of people assured her, they said that they didn't think she was being unreasonable at all.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're driving by, you see a trampoline in somebody's yard, you automatically think that's redneck?
I don't.
I wouldn't. I wanted a trampoline so bad as a kid. I had cousins that had a trampoline. I wanted to go to their house. We never saw them. They were like second or third cousins. But whenever we were in a town, it was 3 hours away is where they lived. My dad would be like, you want to go by there and visit? Yes, they have a trampoline. I just want to go by there and visit them. It was amazing to have a trampoline as a kid.
What do you say now, TJ? Still don't think it's redneck?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Every kid wants a trampoline.
Yeah, of course, it's fun.
But let's take out just the part, her feelings. For her, a trampoline is what we will now refer to as a redneck red flag. You see it, you hear it immediately, you know nothing about someone, red flag. That person's a redneck. What is it? What is your redneck red flag? You know, like one of Reagan's examples was if somebody uses the word the Walmarts.
Yeah.
Does that, that person's a redneck.
Probably a redneck.
We had a lot of responses already on our social media. Like Rachel said, parking in the front yard.
Yeah. It's redneck.
It's a tough one. Yeah. Darian said, keeping Christmas lights up year round. If you ride by somebody's house in June and they have Christmas lights hanging from the house, do you automatically assume redneck? Because he does.
I would say Evan Williams.
Evan Williams.
People who drink Evan Williams.
Yeah.
I don't ever see anybody drink Evan Williams, but you're right.
And the main reason I think that is because we worked with a guy in Huntsville, Alabama, who drank Evan Williams and Sundrop. That was his drink. And so then just to notice the people around that drank it.
That's like a redneck elixir. Mm-hmm. Evan Williams and
But,
Sundrop.
I mean, I'd rather have Evan Williams than Jack Daniels.
And he didn't mix them, though. If I remember right, TJ, did he? He would take like a swig of Evan Williams
and then chase
and
it.
then chase it with the Sundrop. So it wasn't like he mixed it up in a drink. It was just boom, 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 boom.
Woo.
So what is your redneck red flag? The moment you see it, the moment you hear it, you think, that person's a redneck. Now, and it's your own personal interpretation. So, I'm sure somebody's going to hurt my feelings in this, but that's fine. At the Ace TJ Show, give us your redneck red flag. We'll get to them next.
Live from the Calitrin Studios. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. More of the Ace and TJ Show next. There's a lot happening with the radio family. Here's what's new today from the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
So the Extra Funny podcast is live at 9 Eastern on our YouTube channel, Ace TJ TV. Then at 11 Eastern, TJ and Jody's House is live on our YouTube channel. You can download that podcast anywhere, everywhere. Do that. So lots of stuff every single day. Whether you want to download the podcast or check out Ace TJ TV, get signed up, like and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Your redneck red flag, what is it? The one thing you see, you hear, and instantly you think that person is a redneck. Carrie said, we have a metal bull skull on the front of our RV that lights up. Would you? Yeah. Well, she even said we're the rednecks.
But something I've been thinking about as a redneck philosopher. I don't give as many redneck points to people who try to show off their redneckness. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So they know putting that on the front of their RV, everybody's going to look at that. They're going to think we're the biggest redneck. They're going to know we're redneck. Look, this is going to be fancy up on the front of our expensive RV. We're going to put this bullhead that lights up. To me, that doesn't count as much of genuine redneck points as somebody who is talking to the mayor and takes his keys out of his pocket, start cleaning his ears.
Excellent point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent point, TJ.
If you try to show your redneckness, it doesn't count as much as just the genuine, oh, that's redneck type person didn't even know.
Yeah.
Teresa says her redneck red flag, barbecuing in the front of the house by the garage.
That's a good, interesting one.
People, this is why we have backyards.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, if it's not one of those things where everybody brings their grill out to the driveway or whatever for like a neighborhood street party.
Barbecuing in front of the house. That's funny.
Having tinfoil on the window of your house, redneck.
Yeah.
Parking your car at the front door because you're too lazy to walk from the driveway. Yeah, there's a house in my mom's neighborhood that somebody parks like literally by the front door.
In the grass?
Yeah, it's a small front yard. They have a big backyard, relatively small front yard. And they pull in and pull off to the side and park literally right across in front of the front door. Just get out and walk right in, I guess. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, parking on the grass has been one of the big ones. And this is an interesting one. I wonder if Beth has ever seen this, actually. A sun-drop vending machine on the front porch.
Oh, God.
And then this question came from Heather, who said, my mother-in-law says Walmart's, Kmart's, and she's from Michigan. Is she redneck too? Well, this is a great teachable moment. As TJ has told us forever and ever and ever, you don't have to be Southern to be a redneck.
Right. And
rednecks come from everywhere.
And Michigan is full of redneck people. Well-meaning, most of them are well-intentioned, but they are rednecks.
Yes.
Putting wrapping paper in a barrel after Christmas to have a weenie roast is a redneck red flag for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
And then Charles said charcoal in an old propane grill.
Oh, you just...
Yeah, like when you take the element out of a propane grill,
It just puts
you just take the
charcoal.
heating and then fill it with charcoal.
Might as well.
Yeah, getting as much use out of it as you can.
I love that.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
So everybody knows Ace's baby shower happened on Saturday, but there was another big event happening on Saturday. We'll get to that in Now Trending coming up next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up. Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Make sure you go get signed up for Ace TJ Prime. That is, that's our little membership area where you can get rewards and inside information, get the scoop of where we're going to be doing in public shows. You can win all kinds of cool prizes and things of that nature. And then Ace TJ Prime Plus is a subscription area, low cost, and you get commercial-free versions of all of our podcasts, and you get extra content that you're not going to get anywhere else, including my political show that the first episode is up now, available for your taking. Okay. Ace and his wife Amanda had their big fancy baby shower, couples baby shower over the weekend. and was fun. We were there, and I ran into Rob's girlfriend, Meredith. Rob wasn't there. Meredith was there, single, ready to mingle. You know what I'm saying?
You know it. You know it.
So in the conversation that we had, she ended up telling me, because Rob's always talking about how she sleeps all the time and she doesn't get up until the middle of the day, and they can't. Even the other day said they can't even go to breakfast on Saturday because she sleeps through breakfast. And she wants to get up and they got to go up to a lunch if they want to go out to eat in the day. They got to wait until lunch. But he's always saying about how she sleeps so much, right? She said,
Oh, here we go. What did she say, TJ?
She said he is still in the bed right now, and this was about 1:30 or so.
She a damn liar.
And she said he gets however much sleep. He sleeps just as much as I do when he's not working. And then he's making fun of her, but he's just as bad as she is.
No, you know what she doesn't realize is that I get up before her and come back to bed before she gets up.
On the
Dang.
weekend?
Yeah. Because she's dead asleep until noon. I just happen to be in the bed when she wakes up because I came back.
So you're taking a nap.
Yeah, essentially.
So you wake up in the morning. It's like this past Saturday. What time did you wake up?
Well, this past Saturday, she did get up before me because she set an alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she had to go to that shower that was bright and early that morning at noon. All right, so what time did you get up Saturday?
Saturday, I got up when her alarm went off.
Oh, you did?
I don't know why she told you I was still in bed. I was not.
I thought that's what she said. You were still in bed. So you didn't go back to bed after she left?
No.
Huh.
I had both of the dogs. I don't like to sleep with the dogs.
Yeah.
But on a normal Saturday, will you wake up really early, Rob, and then go back to bed, or how does that work?
Not really early, but like not noon. Like maybe 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there.
Okay, so
Maybe 8, 9, 10. In those, in
Depends
those
on what
hours.
time I went to bed.
Yeah.
but let's say it's 8. So you wake up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Then you do what?
I get up, get some water, hang out on the couch for a little bit, and then go back to bed. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not being lazy because I'm certainly being lazy.
Well, it's your day off.
Yeah.
Wow, what a revelation.
So what time did she get home from the shower Saturday?
I don't remember. Maybe 3, 4. I don't remember what
Okay.
time exactly, but
Right. So that was time for a nap then.
for sure. And she did.
Yeah.
Has she heard him talking about this on the show?
Riggins, I assumed that she had, but then after I said it, I thought, well, you know what? She doesn't listen as much as I think she does, so she may not have ever heard it.
Well, I've told her. I've told her. I tell you
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you, TJ, you were the one that brought it up.
Yes.
How did you bring it up?
Because I said, look at you out here all early in the day and everything, and he's always talking about how you sleep all day. And then that's when she said,
He just went right in. He did. Bam.
and that's when she said, well, he's still in the bed, and he don't let him fool you, kind of, whatever.
Yeah, she texted me. TJ said he surprised him up this early. and then she said, and I said, don't let Rob fool you. He sleeps later than me sometimes.
Oh, really?
Like today. I was like, today, like today, I got up when you did.
I did say, hey, Meredith, she go, oh, wow, I'm surprised to see you up this early. I think that was maybe the first thing I said to her.
What time is it? Noon?
Yeah. It was, yeah, by the time I saw her, it was about 12:30.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
What a scene.
I know. Sorry, Rob.
No, I don't care.
Just sleeping all that.
She's just oblivious to the fact that I've already been up once.
But it doesn't sound like you're up very long.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No.
You think he's waking up at 8? Is there a chance?
I mean, I
He
wake
said
up,
8, 9, or 10.
that's like the first.
Riggins, I mean, he gave himself a window there. Not hard to fit into that. That little piece of the pie chart.
You get up like 8, 9, or 10.
If I wake up at 8 on the weekend, I'm gonna get up and walk around for a little bit, but I'm definitely going back to bed.
Yeah, you're gonna walk around a little bit. Some people call that going to the bathroom.
I think he's walking around the mall.
You're gonna walk around a little bit, then go back to bed.
Do you just go sit on the couch and just like sit there for a minute, then
Yeah,
get up and go back to bed?
Because I don't want to lay in the bed too long because I get stiff and my back starts to hurt. So
Yeah.
you gotta switch it up. Go lay on the couch instead.
Mm-hmm. Have you always been a dirty
Works for me.
liar?
Works for me.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
All right, if you've been a listener to the Ace and TJ Show for a good while, then you will know the answer to this question. What group of people is the most fearless among us in society? The group of people the most fearless among us in society. This is a crazy, creepy story, and we'll share it with you next.
Miss any part of today's show? Don't. Just download it wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ radio show and podcast.
Go watch us on YouTube. See all the videos, all the things, whatever. Alexis is not here today, so you won't see her head sitting on top of the desk in any of the videos. So go to Ace TJ TV on YouTube, or just go to acetj.tv to get right to it. Subscribe, do all of that. So there is a 52-year-old Maine named David Neal, who is a manager at the Hilton Hotel in downtown Nashville. Now, he was arrested and charged with aggravated burglary and assault after he allegedly entered a guest's room at 5 a.m. And if you don't want kids to hear something sensitive, then you can turn it down in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's accused of entering a guest's room at 5 a.m. and sucking on a man's toes. According to the story, the guest woke up, confronted him, and called the police. He recognized David, he says, as an employee because he'd previously come to his room to fix his TV. Turns out David is, or at least he was, the night manager of the hotel. For the record, he denies doing any type of foot stuff.
Okay, but why was he in the room?
Situation. He admits to entering the room, but he claims he did it because he allegedly smelled smoke and wanted to check out what was going on and check on the guest. As unbelievable as that sounds, he never reported the smoke smell to security, and no one else at the hotel smelled any smoke. And David's being held on $27,000 bond.
So, do you think he went to the guy's room to fix the TV, and the guy was barefoot, and that's where he saw the guy in his room barefoot, and that's why he went back and broke into that room?
Who knows? It could be that he thought the guy was flirting with him. It could be, any mixed signals that he picked up on. I don't know.
Wow. How was I supposed to know you didn't want me to come into your room in the middle of the night?
He breaks into the guy's room.
Those, the foot fetish people are the most fearless among us. They will put everything on the line for that urge, that uncontrollable urge to do what hits their mind about. I've got to have that. So I've worked up to being the night manager of this hotel. And you got to figure the Hilton Hotel in downtown Nashville is probably a fancy, schmancy hotel. And so he's going to risk it all to go in there. But, okay. Opening the door, wouldn't that wake up the person that's in? I mean, hotel doors are not quiet.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
When you open them. I mean, it makes no matter what. You can't, when you close the door, you can't pull the thing down to where it doesn't click. It's going to click no matter what.
Yeah, this is a real nice hotel.
So,
How are you sleeping through that?
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe when he was in there earlier, he drugged him.
Well, it doesn't say that, Rob.
That's
another charge.
I said maybe.
Whoa. Yeah, but the moment I'm feeling any kind of thing on my toe, I'm jumping up out of my skin.
And if you're checking on smoke, I smelled smoke, you would knock on the door
That's true.
and say, "Excuse me, sir, are you okay? Is everything okay? I smell smoke. Is
Because
everything
you'd want
okay?"
to alert
You
the
wouldn't-
person in the room, we smell smoke.
Yeah,
so.
you wouldn't sneak into the room and try to not wake the guest if you thought you smelled smoke.
Yeah. Okay, you smelled smoke. Why were you sucking on his toes? I mean, what? He's like, I smelled smoke. Okay, well, that's not the way to put out a fire, my friend. Sucking on somebody's toes. We don't care why you were there.
I thought it was coming from under the sheets at the foot of the bed.
He had smoke residue there. I was checking.
His feet were on fire.
Holy cow, that is
What hits you? What hits you to make you want to do that?
5 a.m. and suddenly you realize something's happening, which has got to be frightening. You bolt out of bed, terrified, only realize it's this idiot trying to suck on your toes.
Yeah. Okay. So,
That's crazy.
chew on that for the day. Think about that.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Okay. How close is too close for a grandmother to be to her grandbaby? Is there such a thing as grandma being too close to the grandbabies? We'll give you the story and then you can tell us, if it's too close. We'll do it next.
Don't miss the extra funny podcast coming up at 9 Eastern, live on the Ace and TJ app, or download anytime wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ coming up. This is the Ace and TJ radio show and podcast from the Calotrin Studios. Lose weight the safe and effective way with Calotrin. Go to acetj.com/weight loss to get details. Now, Ace and TJ.
In honor of Ace and Amanda's baby that will be here next month, we have a way for you to help some people. Just go to acetj.com/baby and you'll find the Ace and TJ baby registry there. And it is to help the Levine Children's Hospital in Charlotte and the Jeff Gordon Children's Center in Concord, North Carolina. acetj.com/baby. That's where you get that. Now, there is a grandmother in the UK, and this is kind of hard to follow anytime you start talking about people's relationship to other people in their family. Like, this is my great aunt and her second cousin. When people start doing that, I just kind of fog out. I can't keep up with it. So I'll try to make this as simple as possible. This lady's name's Jane, and she has a daughter named Laura. Jane is 47, Laura's 27. Laura was born when Jane was 18.
Okay.
Laura got pregnant and had a baby at 15. Okay, so Jane became a grandmother when her daughter was 15.
Okay.
All right. So a year later, Jane had another baby. So, 2 years later, she had another baby, and that makes Laura's baby, which would be her grandchild, 2 years older than her child. So she has a grandchild 2 years older than her child. Okay. Then they both got pregnant at the same time.
Again.
Yes. the mom, aka grandmother, and the daughter, aka mom, got pregnant a few months apart. Okay, so now they have babies that are, the same age, basically, a few months difference in their ages. And the grandmother breastfeeds both of them.
Okay.
So the grandmother is breastfeeding her child and her grandchild.
Yeah, so like you leave the kids with grandma, and grandma feeds both of them. I'm guessing vice versa.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
ask
not
you.
sure.
Does it go both
if
ways?
it's the same with the mom, but this is the story about the grandmother. So
Where you find these stories? Oh my God.
Okay, so is that
So
that bad?
I don't know how it all works. I'm not a breastfeeding expert, so I'm not saying that. It just seems like it's a little bit overstepping. It's an overstep,
It sure feels that way just upon first inspection.
Because I always thought that all the benefits and everything that they talk about breastfeeding is because it is the mother's milk that makes it better for the baby. Is another mother's milk does it provide the same nutrients and all the
I think
great
it's pretty
things?
much the same.
Or is it like having a formula? I don't know.
I've always thought it was pretty much the same. That you have basically the same vitamins and nutrients.
Because you have a wet nurse.
Yeah.
They make wet nurses. That's what they do. They breastfeed babies that aren't theirs. What, Riggins?
So she's in her 50s and she's producing the breast milk? I guess so.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'll say it. I mean, this whole thing is trashy on another level. And gross and weird.
Or is it just loving? It's grandmother providing life's nutrients to her own grandchild.
But it says that the only of all these pregnancies, the only one that was not planned was the pregnancy when, no, I think he said all of them are planned. All of them have been planned. Even the 15-year-old said that she was planning having a baby that early since her mom was so young.
It's just loving.
When she was born. And not a single mention of a man in any of these stories. So I don't know how all that works, but
I think there are a lot of people who would say, I don't know that I'm one of them. I really don't know how I feel about this, but I think there are a lot of people that would just say it's okay. There's nothing wrong with the grandmother breastfeeding her grandchild.
Mm-hmm. Now, I was very, very close with my Nana growing up. But, I mean, we always got a glass of Borden's
Just
milk.
Regular old vitamin D milk out of the carton.
So
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
We'll do Now Trending coming up next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up. You are connected to Ace TJ 5G. Ace TJ Riggins Alexis Tech D Rob. Live from the Calatrend Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
well, hello. We love serving you on a Monday. Sure can tell someone's got a case of the Mondays. Not you though, Riggins, right? You don't have a case of the Mondays.
I'm all right.
Good.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
All right, people are talking basketball right now. It's basketball season. So, in basketball news, LeBron James' son has committed to USC, University of Southern California. And, LeBron said he's not going to retire until he can play a game with his son. He wants to be on the same team. So it'll be interesting to see. He's got, maybe a couple more years, but that would be, I don't think that's ever happened, has it?
I don't think so, no. It's happened in Major League Baseball.
Has it?
Yeah.
The Griffies.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. So people are talking about him. Apparently, he's a great player.
He's the 19th best high school player in America, according to ESPN.
Yeah.
Bronny is what they call him, yeah.
It's got to be intimidating to play in high school and have LeBron sitting there and you're on the opposing team and be a little intimidating, right? See LeBron, the greatest player ever.
But his son played on one of those really elite high school teams that's a private school kind of thing, and they all come together, and so they were probably used to it because there are a lot of players that show up at all their games.
Mm-hmm. Chris Brown and Usher did not get into a fight, or maybe they did, before their festival concert over the weekend in Las Vegas. They were fighting at a skate rink, and then the next night, it looks like Chris Brown got into another altercation with somebody. That video is up on TMZ as well. So Chris Brown had a tough weekend, but he seems to, it's like water off a duck's back. He seems to bounce back and have no problems selling out arenas and still making music. He's just not invited to the award shows anymore.
Yeah. Bless.
And that bothers him. He wants to be invited. He's a very talented guy. He just seems to get in his own way a lot.
Can he still be nominated and win? He just can't be there at the ceremony?
Probably could be, yeah.
Yeah, I think he can. But the last time, he was preparing a big Michael Jackson montage, and then the last minute they canceled him.
Yeah.
And he was upset about that. But he's a super talent. He's just one of those. He's got it. He's got the it factor. But again, he just kind of gets in his own way.
Trouble seems to follow wherever he goes all the time.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, gets in his own way.
I mean, that's a nice way of
Saying
saying.
he's a complete and total DB jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The numbers are in from the coronation over on Saturday, 20 million views. So the Queen's funeral back in September, I think, of last year, did 29 million views. So more people watched that. But still, it's nothing to sniff at.
I think, too, the Queen's funeral, the Queen's funeral happens at this time. The coronation seemed like it, I don't know, it was going on when I woke up Saturday. Then things were still happening late into the afternoon on Saturday.
Yeah.
Then the concert was over the weekend. So it just seemed like, 20 million's a lot, though. That's a lot of people. I'm surprised it did that much.
To watch it, yeah. It was cool to see people like curtsy to the king as they walk. I mean, it's just their traditions. It was interesting to watch for sure.
So was that whole thing on like one full, broadcast on American TV networks?
Yeah, the networks were carrying it.
The whole 10 hours,
No,
20
no,
hours,
no.
whatever it was?
No, it was 2.5 hours, and most of them did carry the main ceremony. Mm-hmm, That's a long time too, man. But a lot of people were watching that. And they say the writer's strike is going to delay production on Stranger Things, which is one of Netflix's biggest shows ever. So the writer's strike affecting most everything in Hollywood at the moment. It's just undetermined how long it's going to last and what the effect is going to be long term, budgetary, budget wise. So will it hurt everything permanently? Probably not, but they're losing a lot of money. What's an internet trend that did not turn out well for you? Ace and TJ's trend flop coming up next.
From the Calatrend Studios, this is the Ace and TJ Show. Find out more about Calatrend at acetj.com/weight loss.
Go over to acetj.com/baby and purchase something for a couple of great causes. acetj.com/baby. It's Ace and TJ's baby registry, helping Levine Children's and the Jeff Gordon Center at Levine Children's. It's fabulous. You can spend any amount of money you want, and it's a great way to help. acetj.com/baby. I don't know where they do these surveys at, but this one seems like it's fake because it says 3 in 4 Americans are experiencing food mo, which is like FOMO, but it's the fear of missing out on new food trends. Food mo.
I can't agree with
That's
that.
not 3 and 4.
Food missing out is what that would stand for.
Food missing out, yeah. fear of, yeah. I mean, it's so dumb. And they say 3 in 4 Americans are experiencing, like, oh my God, I saw this thing. I have to do it or else I'm going to be a loser. And I just don't buy that. Now, I don't try many new recipes and things. Rob, where'd you get that chicken recipe that you made in the crock pot that you love? Was that a TikTok one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw it, had to do it, right?
Yeah, it looked delicious.
And you loved it. Mm-hmm. And Rob's not, he doesn't claim to be a chef or anything, but it was, he said he made it, loved it. I don't have anything like this. I mean, 3 in 4 Americans, 75% instantly crave food when they see it online. Now, TJ was looking at a burrito last week. They took an entire beef rib on the bone, put it inside a burrito, then pulled the bone out.
Yeah, and it looked really good.
That has popped up on my Instagram about 5 times since the other day.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how that happens, but again, I'm not going to make beef ribs and go do this, but you know, that's the way the internet works. You see something online, you want to try it out for yourself. I get it. That's how the Tide Pod thing became so wild. Kids were eating Tide Pods. And then the crate challenge. Remember, people were stacking up milk crates, trying to, climb over them and ended up, breaking limbs and things like that. But the
That
videos
was one of my
were,
favorites.
yeah, they were incredible. But I'm never encouraged to do any of this stuff. I know pizza cones were big there for a while. You'd bake a whole pizza, slice it, turn it into a cone, and then stuff it with fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a big thing. And now there's a restaurant that serves that just based on the trend online. So what trend have you tried that just turned out awful? Maybe you did have to go to the hospital after attempting the milk crate challenge, or...
Yeah, that would be an easy one to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or maybe you were trying to owl or teapotting on top of your mom's SUV and you fell off and, banged your head up. What was it that just turned out really bad? There was a TikTok trend where women were cutting their own bangs. There was a way to pull your hair up. And they said if you cut straight across, it'll turn out perfectly. And I saw so many disaster videos of women cutting their bangs and looking like idiots after that. So what turned out not great when you tried the new trend? Ace and TJ's trend flop at the Ace TJ Show. We'll get yours coming up next.
Missed part of the show? Just download it. Get the Ace and TJ podcast on any platform. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up. There's a lot happening with the radio family. Here's what's new today from the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Go subscribe to the Ace and TJ Show on YouTube. It's very easy and it's free. For now, Ace TJ TV. Get in before it gets expensive.
That's right.
Costs you nothing.
Get in before it gets expensive.
Exactly. And it will. Ace TJ TV. It's super easy. We're talking about trends that you saw on the internet that you tried and it turned out terribly. Tech D Rob does that crack. Is it called crack chicken? That's what they were calling it.
I've heard that, but I don't call it that.
Yeah, good. Good, Rob. Because I hate that name. Because I guarantee you, anybody that calls it that has never actually tried crack before. And I assure you, crack is far more addictive than the chicken in the crockpot recipe. But what trend did you try out that turned out awful? And there's so many of these, and I've seen a lot of these, and they look terrible. I never even tried them. Like Brittany said those cotton candy grapes. I like cotton candy and I like grapes, but not the cotton candy flavor grapes. We've tried them in here in the studio. Way overrated.
Yeah, but they're still good, though. They're sweet.
Yeah, they weren't
Fine,
bad.
but they're not better than a regular grape to me anyway. But those are all over the place. Crystal, this is a good one because I saw this everywhere for like 3 weeks. Cottage cheese ice cream, which is a thing where you take cottage cheese, throw it in a blender, add a little bit of honey and chocolate chips and peanut butter, and then you freeze it. And they say it tastes just like regular ice cream. I beg to differ. And what's the point? You're eating dairy anyway. I guess cottage cheese is lower calorie, but so gross.
Less sugar.
Yeah.
Sweeten it with honey instead of sugar.
I love cottage cheese, but that sounds gross.
Avoid it. You gotta avoid white flour and sugar.
Yeah, I guess so. Anything white. Travis, now I feel for you, Travis. He said, I tried to make an alcoholic version of Disney's Dole Whip, and it was disgusting. That's all over TikTok, too. just go to Disney. I mean, that's the best way to do it. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think you can replicate that at home in any good way. But the alcoholic version of the Dole Whip is very good.
Well, I think what they do is they just use the Dole Whip and then put a floater on it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what it is.
Malibu rum floater.
Yeah, and it is good on a hot day in Orlando. That's perfect.
What about several people said cauliflower as a potato substitute?
I feel like cauliflower has gotten out of control. I mean, it's cauliflower pizza crust. It's mashed cauliflower that's supposed to replicate mashed potatoes. And I think if you go into it not expecting it to taste like mashed potatoes or a regular pizza, you'll be fine. But it is certainly no substitute.
Cauliflower with wing sauce, you know.
Yeah, right.
like
Buffalo cauliflower. Yeah.
But the vegetable pastas are okay. They're okay, but you don't go into it thinking it's going to taste just as good as chicken Alfredo.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
I can taste a zoodle. They taste like zoodles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these. Ace, has your wife tried any of these hacks or anything that she sees on TikTok?
No, nothing that jumps out at me that I can think of. I mean, I tried a couple of those when I was trying to cook a little more. I was trying to because I felt like I should because I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
I made those taquitos, those high protein taquitos that time. And they were good. They weren't great. That's more me than them, though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What about those snore things that you tried? Didn't you try? Did she get
that's
you
right.
some
I
kind
forgot
of
about
snore?
that. A couple years ago, we tried that snore guard thing. That didn't work. It had to, that looked like a sling around your head. There is another one that I want to try that I saw that I might order. It looks pretty cheap. It's like a mouth guard of some sort. I don't know.
Is your snoring out of control?
Yeah, I guess according to her, it's whatever.
She's like, it's insufferable.
Yeah. I know.
Has anybody ever told you that you snore?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
they did. Okay,
Never,
so you
I was
know
aware
it's
of
true.
it. Yeah.
I say go back to the sling. That was a good look for you.
It never worked. And it always ended up around my neck. By the time when I woke up, it was all it was hooked in an ear, and it was never where it was supposed to be at that point.
Did it hook onto the headboard or something?
No,
What was it a sling?
No,
Like,
I
what was
wasn't in traction.
What kind of sling? What was it being supported?
It's like
by?
went around the top of your. It would just went around your head, and you pulled it down. I think, and it went under my chin. It was supposed to hold your mouth closed while you sleep at night.
Get that hostage tape. I see that on TikTok all the time. Have you seen that
No.
hostage tape?
Yeah, but what if your nose is stuffy? Like,
I know.
Well, then you
But
don't
what
wear
does
it. Does
hostage tape do?
It's tape you put over your mouth, and it's supposed not to hurt your skin, but it forces you to breathe through your nose, which they say is like game changer for anybody who has sleep problems because it'll get you better sleep, no snoring.
I'm not doing anything putting tape over my mouth or anything
That
like
seems like
that.
a bad idea.
Make me feel like I'm bound up or something. I don't like
Yeah,
that
I
at
would
all. I
panic.
would freak out.
Yeah.
Because what if I just wanted to open my mouth or something? I don't know why I'm sleeping. I don't want to open my mouth. I'm just saying. I don't know.
what if I want to open my mouth?
I would never be able to go to sleep knowing that I couldn't open my mouth if I wanted to while I was sleeping.
Well, I used to do
kinda
that
scary.
every night. Before I got the CPAP, I had that thing that locked my teeth into place, and I couldn't open my mouth.
Oh, Rick, you couldn't even breathe through that.
It pulled my bottom teeth out because I cranked it, so it pulled my bottom teeth out and then locked it.
Yeah, I couldn't have
so
done
my
that.
teeth were like this with a splint in it every night, and I couldn't open that thing unless I.
And you had to have that little key in
loosened
the
it.
whole thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Damn.
And it just stopped working? Is that what, or it was so uncomfortable?
It was uncomfortable, and it still it made this, so instead of a snoring noise, it made as I was breathing out of it, and then Jody didn't like that, so now I look like Maverick
Yeah.
with the pilot's mask on.
So your wives hate the way you sleep. I mean, God, if I don't even like him when he's asleep.
No doubt.
That sucks.
I get, Can you turn the other direction and snore the other way? It's too loud this way.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so I gotta
gracious.
turn over the other side. I can never face her when I sleep. Now I gotta sleep with my left side all the time.
I love it. I can't get enough of it. It's so fun. It's so fun. We're learning about Gen Z, and maybe you will too, coming up next.
Live on your radio and anytime you want us, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Hey, get signed up for Ace TJ Prime. It's the way to get invitations to our upcoming live events. It's the only way. But it's free, thankfully, and it takes no time at all to get signed up. We also have Ace and TJ Prime Plus, which is where you can get the show commercial-free audio and video, plus the return of TJ's political podcast, which is now available on Ace TJ Prime Plus a bunch of new content coming soon. acetj.com/prime. I just learned something a little bit ago. We're in No Mo May. No Mo May.
I heard about it Saturday.
Yeah, Ace was telling me, because I had said I have a neighbor who's meticulous about edging his lawn, but he doesn't cut the grass. And I just cannot figure that out because he spends an hour on it a week at least edging the front of his house, but he doesn't cut the grass. So it looks pretty gnarly everywhere outside of the sidewalk area. So Ace was saying maybe it's because it's No Mo May.
Yeah, our friend Ken Temple with the Temple team. I was telling him about it Saturday, how weird that was, and he goes, "Oh, it's No Mo May." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Yes, and it's an environmental thing they're doing now where people are not supposed to mow their grass for the month of May."
I.e., it's stupid.
Yeah, let me look it up to make certain that's
let your grass
we
grow.
looked it up though.
But has it been growing though? Has it been high since like before May?
Yeah.
Because we're just into May.
Yeah. He never cuts his grass, and his edger is gas powered. So I don't know. Maybe he's using less gas, but maybe it is. But yeah, I was looking around and it said, it helps provide additional resources for early season pollinators too.
Yeah, mowing less creates habitat and can increase the abundance and diversity of wildlife, including bees and other pollinators.
That's what I need. More animals in my front yard and backyard.
They're coming after us in every aspect of our lives.
Don't cut your grass.
Just coming after us.
And they point out the base of one of the disadvantages. The base of the grass may be yellow, and when it's mowed, some of it may brown out from the stress. So it would burn your grass out essentially.
I've had a brownout before.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes hand in hand with this study. I saw 7 in 10 Americans admit that they treat their own home better than they treat the planet. And they said it's a lot of Gen Z. Gen Z expressed the most concern for the future of the planet, 78%, followed by millennials at 67%. So it's like, well, I don't know. That's where you live. Of course you treat it better than the planet. I mean, no one
What
goes
does that
around.
even
I
mean?
don't know what that means.
It means you probably...
Because if you're treating your home well in the process, aren't you treating the planet well?
But does that mean that they
guess
throw
not.
trash on the ground and out in public, but they don't throw it on the ground at home?
yeah.
Or that they go around? Well, first of all, you got to buy into the fact that these things that we have in life are damaging the planet to begin with. But let's say you do buy into all that. Are they saying that means that they don't back their vehicle all the way up inside the house when the exhaust is burning?
That's right.
But they do that out in the planet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's all so stupid.
No tire fire at home, but they will
Yeah.
go to one in a field somewhere.
Sure.
Right.
Set 'em up.
I don't know what it means.
Set them up. 7 in 10 Americans. I mean, they're just making stuff
They're
up at
lying.
this point. There's no
They're
way.
lying.
And don't cut your grass. Just be a dirt ball and go live your life, I guess. I don't know.
Get Ace and TJ anytime, anywhere, at your convenience with the Ace and TJ Show podcast. Available wherever you get podcasts. More Ace and TJ is next.